Do you know that ignorance is the real slave master? We become slaves to what we don't know. Why knowledge set free? Hi everyone, you are welcome to this class. Today we'll be discussing about some of the mental health challenges we have in our society today. It's important we know some of these things because it's ravaging our society. So we'll be looking at the causes and of course how some of them can be managed. So let's dive into the details. The first condition we'll be talking about today is anxiety. NHS defines anxiety as a persistent worry or fear that becomes difficult to control and it starts affecting someone's daily life. Let's be practical because many people don't really realize what they're experiencing. Many people don't know they're experiencing anxiety. They need someone to explain it to them. There are some signs that reveals or that can show that someone is going through anxiety. For instance, when your thoughts begins to go wide into negative, when you begin to think about the worst case scenarios, when your body begins to speed up, your heart starts racing and your chest starts tightening up. You see your hand shaking literally. These are signs of anxiety. When you see yourself avoiding situations because you are scared, you are afraid that something bad might happen, when there is no threat of danger, all these are signs of anxiety. So, but anxiety doesn't just appear from nowhere. Yes, there are some real psychological and sociological causes of anxiety. Let's take note of a few of them. When you constantly get a job rejection, when you apply for a job and they keep sending you rejection, this situation can trigger anxiety in your heart. Or when you lose your job and suddenly your mind begins to worry about bills. So this kind of situation can also trigger anxiety. The next one is when you are under pressure. When you see yourself under pressure to meet a deadline, pressure to pay some debt, or even pressure over exam. I once spoke to a young man who failed one course in his final year. The university gave him opportunity to resit. However, this opportunity, if he fails again, he will not graduate. So while speaking with him, you could literally see anxiety written all over him, fear and tension all over him. So this kind of condition, this kind of situation can trigger anxiety in someone's life. Another thing that can cause anxiety is family or peer group expectation. When your family or your friends have this high expectation from you, things like when are you getting married, when are you buying a car, you're supposed to have bought your house. So all those high expectations can push someone under anxiety. Another thing is sudden life change, such as divorce, or financial hardship can trigger or worsen anxiety. If you have experienced any of these things, I want to let you know that you are not alone. You can share your experience on the comment section. But the real question is this: what can we do to manage anxiety? At the peak of anxiety attack, you need to control your breathing. Some people will begin to pant, begin to breathe fast. You need to slow it down, have control of it. That is the first thing we recommend you do. So when you're a bit calm, don't just remain in that pain. Ask yourself questions, fact-finding questions like, what is the real cause of this anxiety? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What is the real cause of this fear all over me? So that question will help you to find out the cause of anxiety. And then another thing you will do is to try to shift your thought and your mind from the issue. For instance, if it's about job loss, stop thinking about that job at that moment. Stop thinking about your bills and other challenges at that moment. Then the next thing you can do is to try to talk to someone you trust. With experience and conversation I have had with other people, I have come to conclusion that interacting with other people helps a lot. Yes, do not die alone. Do not die in silence. You need to reach out to people. You need to share your experience with people that can help you to calm down the situation. I've heard some people say, "Oh, I just want to be alone." That is very, very dangerous. Avoid it. Have some people that can help you to calm the situation. Other things we can do to control anxiety attack are: you can do some exercise like grounding exercise. You can, if you have a task, you can break your task into smaller steps to be able to manage your tasks. Do gentle movement like walking around. Most importantly, look for anything that can give you hope, because anxiety thrives when hope is blurred. When there is no hope, anxiety thrives. Sometimes reading good messages helps a lot. It helps to uplift the spirit. You can get some passages in the Bible to read. You can get some motivational books to read. This can help to restore hope, because anxiety is absence of hope. So if you have witnessed all of these things we are saying, or you have a better strategy, you can also share with us on the comment section. Someone else can benefit from your experience. Thank you. The next mental health condition we want to discuss about is depression. Depression is very, very dangerous, and it's increasing in our society today. World Health Organization describe depression as a persistent sadness, loss of interest, and reduced energy, lasting for weeks or months. So it means when you see yourself always sad, no interest in doing some things. So this can be called depression. I want to also let you know that you are not alone. You are not alone on this. Some of the signs of depression are when you see yourself losing interest in the things you normally enjoy doing, when your body feels heavy and tired even after resting, when your thoughts become negative, hopeless, or even slow, when daily tasks feel harder than usual. One significant thing about depression is that it makes someone unhappy. It is the root cause of suicide, and that is why we need to pay attention. We need to discuss it so that we can save life in our society. If any of this sounds familiar, share your thoughts in the comment section. You might help someone realize that they are not alone. Now let's talk about some of the psychological and sociological causes of depression. Number one is when someone loses someone he or she loves, either to death or things like divorce. It can cause depression. This will shut down someone's emotion, and you see yourself always down, sad, and unhappy. Losing your job. The difference with anxiety is that when you lose your job, anxiety will remind you bills and other payments you need to make. But depression will tell you that you are a failure. You are a failure. So, and that is the voice of depression. You need to shut down that voice before that voice will shut you down. So that is the difference. Some people growing up, they never experience emotional support and encouragement. For instance, people that their parents or one of their parents left early in their life. Another thing that can cause depression is long-term stress from caring for someone, or financial pressure, relationship breakdown. Some people have this feeling of isolation or disconnected from people. So all these things are signs of depression. One of the things you also know is that depression is not your fault. It's the cause of some of the circumstances around you. And you need to also know that you are not alone. You are not a strange person. So here are a few things we can do to manage depression. First, speak to your doctor and mental health practitioner. It's very, very important for them to know the depth of what you're passing through. Identify the cause if you can. It's very, very important. If you can pinpoint the cause of the depression, it will help to solve the problem. Because you are definitely not like this. Something must have caused you to feel this the way you are feeling now. That is not how you are created. That is not who you are.